everyone, and welcome to Simplex Cuisine. My name is Harper, if you did not know, and today I am going to be making for the first time in my life vegetarian spaghetti bake. Now I want to give a big shout out and thanks to Emmy for suggesting this video. She suggested a spaghetti bake because, I had made a lot of like spaghetti based meals in the past, and I really want to make this video, but I want to have a little bit of a twist on it because I have made so many like, spaghetti, ricotta, beef kind of, meals. I was like, can I do something special and different? And also my mama is vegetarian, so I thought, why not make this vegetarian? And as usual for, one of these like first time experiences video, I am going to be, showing you the process of me making this meal for the first time in my life. And then of course at the end, I will show you how it looks like, and then, taste test it and give you my opinions on number 1, does it look good? Number 2, does it taste good? Number 3, does the recipe actually work in my opinion? Number 4, kind of like, footnoted to number 3, is the recipe still good, but like, was it my mistake? And of course, number 5, do I suggest this recipe or this meal to you guys? With that being said, let us begin. And here is the actual ingredients. I apologize if the lighting looks a little bit weird, but more or less, I just, I've been more or less doing this for a really long time now, just prepping the ingredients before I begin because it's way easier, it cuts off on time, and it's usually more enjoyable for everyone involved. But more or less, we have all our mushrooms and our bell peppers, which look, as usual, amazing if they will focus correctly. I'm not sure they're focused, but they still hopefully look good. And of course, we have the garlic and the beautiful onions in the background. We have our sauce, we have our Parmesan cheese and our mozzarella. Spaghetti is right there. Actually, this is gonna be, not wheat spaghetti because I don't like whole wheat spaghetti. It's just regular spaghetti, so hopefully that doesn't mess up the recipe. And then of course our, seasoning. I am using a frozen packet of fresh basil, so hopefully it's okay versus, dried basil. So hopefully everything will, work out in the end. But I think we are almost ready for the spaghetti, so give me 1 second. And here is the boiling water. So we have our spaghetti. I'm just going to hopefully get this out without it breaking. And then there we go. Fan it out, sort of, kind of, not really. But I'm just going to push this down, and then this will cook for around 10 minutes or so. And then while it cooks, I'll just kind of more or less prep my space. This is but as usual for a lot of these videos that I do make with these recipes, the recipes are thankfully very, very easy, which is of course why they are so well loved and are popular. But more or less, my biggest, goal in this is number 1, again, seeing does like a spaghetti bake taste as good as, its meat-based, compatriot, but also, of course, does the recipe actually work well? And then also, of course, does Harper actually follow the recipes, because sometimes she doesn't. But more or less from there, I'm just gonna let this go, just kind of mix this around so nothing's sticking that much, or not that much, hopefully not at all. But with that being said, spaghetti is cooking, and then I'll see you guys when we are actually about to like cook. So more or less, the pan is ready to go. So I'm gonna grab the olive oil, and we're putting in 2 tablespoons. There we go. And then we have, of course, the onions, some of the mushrooms and the garlic, the rest of the mushrooms, and the bell peppers. Ooh, this pot barely fits it. I mean, hopefully it'll, everything will like cook down, so that won't be an issue. We have our salt, lots of pepper, of course, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 2 teaspoons of the basil, and then some dried crushed pepper flakes. Okay, so with that being said, the only thing we have to do now is just mix this around and let it saute down. So I'm just gonna do that. Sadly, my hands will probably be in the way the whole time because, of how angles work and whatnot. So more or less, I'll get back to you guys when this is all cooked down, or, we're almost done. Okay, so after a solid 13 minutes, this beautiful mixture, I'm gonna say it's pretty much done. I don't see any more of that like excess moisture anymore, so I'm gonna say that we are ready to go. So with that being said, we have our pasta sauce right here. Also, I'm preheating the oven right now, so you can hear that. I do apologize. We're just gonna mix this all around real quick. And then I'm gonna go over to my, cooking station and we'll start assembling this all. First things first, the spaghetti. Apologize for the angle or the fact that you can't actually see what I'm doing. There we go. Hi, Sebastian. Sorry, my dog's just hanging out. He smells food and he's like, ooh, food. So we have our freshly grated Parmesan. Okay, apologize for that horrible lighting. I'm having issues with lighting right now, but hopefully you can see it better now. So from there, I'm gonna add the mozzarella real quick. Okay, and we're gonna be adding in around half a cup of this. So I want to say probably that's half a cup. I would love to have some more. Everything might work out, but I think it would have been easier if I just mixed this all together in the bowl than, in this pan, but I think it's gonna work out pretty well. Now I'm just going to mix this all around. I'm probably just going to speed this all up. So when this is all over, I'll get back to you, but I'm thinking probably just a couple more minutes because I don't want this to go everywhere. So I'm going to, take my time and, try to be really precise. So yeah. Okay, so that was not as hard as it, was in my brain. The only issue I'm having right now is I'm a little worried that I didn't mix everything nicely, there's a lot of sauce on the sides and not in the middle, so I'm a little worried about that. But after that, I think everything else will hopefully be okay. So I'm just gonna grab the rest of the cheese and pour that on, so give me 1 second. Okay, we have our cheese, so just going to hopefully layer this on top. I am honestly incredibly excited for this. It smells really good. I enjoy all the vegetables in this. So I have a lot of high hopes. I also feel like this is not enough cheese. So I'm gonna put more cheese on it. Give me 1 second. And I think we are okay. I don't wanna over cheese this. So I'm gonna call this a day. So the oven's still preheating. When it's done preheating, I'm just going to toss this in the oven and then it will cook for around 30 minutes and then we'll see how it looks like, go through that process, and then have the ending finale of this video. So far, very excited. I apologize, my dog is drinking water very loudly right now. I think he's trying to tell me something. I think that something is he wants cheese. More or less, I'm very excited. I won't show you the process of me putting this in the oven because it's not worth it to me or to you. But all in all, very excited, very, very, optimistic and happy, and also very, very hungry. And here we go. Honestly, it looks really good. It smells even better. So I'm gonna take some pictures and whatnot for the thumbnail and for Instagram, and then we'll dig this in and see how it actually tastes. Okay, so we are finally at the last step. So here is, of course, the beautiful vegetarian spaghetti bake. I'm very excited to taste it. It smells really, really good. But with that being said, I'm just going to, grab some right here. Okay, so I've just finished the spaghetti bake, and let's talk about what I think about it. So, number one, I do have to say, I honestly really enjoyed this. Overall, it was really, really hearty. It was really comforting. It felt good, it was really, really nice to eat, It was pretty well seasoned. I think it had a little more salt, but, I really like salt. That's kind of just subjective on my part. But all in all, I really like this dish. I really did. And I think the leftovers will be absolutely incredible. But there were a few like issues which does push down my rating of this dish. So number one, I personally believe that as a whole, this dish, it really, you could say, relies a lot on the pre-made spaghetti sauce. So if you don't have, really good spaghetti sauce, which thankfully I did in this situation, you probably won't like this dish as much. At the same time, and I'm basing this off of the fact that, I have made, a spaghetti bake, situation before. I've made like $1 million spaghetti, and I've made a baked ziti before, and they're more or less all in the same realm of, pasta, red sauce, cheese, Parmesan, mozzarella. They're all kind of the same in that way. And I believe that one of the reasons why I really loved those dishes, the $1 million spaghetti and the baked ziti, was because the red sauce and the ricotta cheese mixture, they combined perfectly. The red sauce cut through the cheese, and the cheese kept the red sauce from being too overwhelming. And because this version, the vegetarian baked spaghetti did not have, that like ricotta to like envelop and help, stabilize the red sauce, you could only really taste the red sauce. You could barely taste the Parmesan. You could not taste Parmesan, and you could barely taste the mozzarella. So like, because of that, again, everything relied on that red sauce. And I personally don't like that because, again, if you have good red sauce, you're kind of screwed, At the same time, again, I love that balance of cheese and red sauce. And you didn't have that in this dish. The whole time I was thinking, wow, I would really love some ricotta to, help balance out this dish. I'm not gonna like say experiment and then, blame me if it turns, horribly. So I won't say that, but I would suggest that if this recipe was like tweaked, it would really benefit. Now after that, again, I really enjoyed it. My mom really loved it. I think one of the things it does really well is because there is no like, meat, or like I didn't use a lot of, olive oil, this dish doesn't feel greasy at all or too oily. I felt like one of my other dishes, they did taste a little oily and like greasy because I forgot to like, I intentionally chose not to drain out the grease, and that made that thing incredibly greasy. It tasted really good, but it was horrible to my, being health-wise, And I feel like, again, you don't get the full meatiness, of course, of those dishes, but for a vegetarian alternative, it tastes really good. It tastes healthier in that way. And overall, it was really good. So when it comes to my rating, 1 out of 10, 1 being it's terrible, I can't even finish it. 10, it was amazing, it blew me away, I want to have it again and again and again. I would give this a solid 8.5. I really love this. This went above and beyond average. But those two little issues that I have with the dish, especially more the ricotta than anything else, made the kind of idea of this blew me away null, because it didn't blow me away, but I really loved it. So more or less, when it comes to, do I think you should make this? Do I think, you should use this recipe? I personally really like this recipe. I thought the person did a great job. It's simple, it's easy, and it's fun. It would be great to, do with friends and family or by yourself. Again, it's easy. It's not a thing that will stress you out. And if you have, a family or friend who is vegetarian, this is a great dish for them. But with that being said, that is really all. So of course, again, thank you so much, Emmy, for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, that is all for today. So of course, if this video, click like. If you want more from watch, just subscribe. I hope you have a nice day. I will see you next time. And as usual, goodbye.